How you
Hello,
doing, Ruby? I love your paintings, by the way.
thank you. Thank
The
you
one
very much.
on on your left shoulder. That's good. This one here with all the colours.
This is me. This
Is
is
that you?
a Ruby Barker original.
A Ruby Barker original. How much do they go for?
Wow. I've only sold a couple of paintings. I've
Oh,
only
nice. Hey, you got to
sold two.
start somewhere. That's amazing.
But I kept that one. Someone wanted to buy it. I was like, no, it's
No,
mine.
okay, that's mine. I'm keeping that one. Tell me about the initial kind of genesis for you to get involved, because I can imagine you get a script called Baghead. That's a strange title unto itself. So I can imagine straight away you're kind of interested as to what this is. But then when you dig a little deeper,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot going on in this film.
Well, it's funny that you brought up the title Baghead because I grew up in Glasgow and Baghead means something completely different. Do you know what I mean?
It does.
I was like, what? What is this? I said, there's no heroin addicts in the film, right? Baghead character. She's the monster, shall we say? She's supernatural. Um, I liked the film. I liked it because it was written really well and it was a cool idea, right? You get to spend a bit of time with the dead. What do you say? What are the stakes? What are the consequences of this? Ultimately, it is a horror film that tackles and deals with and explores grief, which is something that affects everybody, and it does capture the imagination. It does really make you think, and that's why I liked it. That's why I got involved. And then obviously the creatives that were involved and Freya as well was going to be playing Iris and stuff. Very, very, very attractive opportunity.
Yeah, and it's one of those horror films. I mean, a lot of horror films do this anyway by nature, but it's not just about the scares, as you say. There's people dealing with grief. It's almost kind of like a coming of age kind of thing as well, with people trying to decipher who they are. I can imagine going as an actor. That's a lot of things that you want to do as an actor. You want to be able to go into a project and be able to do a lot of different things all at once. So was that one of the reasons, like you say, that you were like, yeah, this feels special. This feels like I can do a lot of different things in this one film.
Yes, and I mean it's not often that I'm approached about the opportunity to play the voice of reason or sanity. So that was really cool, right? Because Katie is sensible. Okay, she's the
Mm.
sensible one. I've never been the sensible one. Um, and I do think, like as an artist, as an actress, the characters that you play, they can really inform who you grow into being, who you grow up to be. In your own coming of age, right? In your adulting. And I want to be reasonable. I want to be the voice of reason. I want to be sensible. I want to be really supportive and caring and all of these things. Not that I wasn't before, but maybe, it was kind of like it was attractive. It was attractive to me to really like consciously walk in those shoes, where that is like wholeheartedly someone's character. And I hope that it sort of like informs me as I come of age in this world as
Mm.
well, and the sort of relationships that I have with my friends and stuff. So yeah.
It's a scary film, of course. And I
Yeah.
was just asking Freya about this and about how, as actors, you obviously have to react and emote and do all the things to bring it to life. But being scared, I can imagine, is a hard thing. When I said this to her, she was like, "It's like so hard, like to be scared, because obviously there's nothing really apart from the camera. You're not really being really scared by what the audience is seeing. You're having to kind of invent it in your head and you draw on different things. Did you find it a challenge as well? Because people say, some people say crying is a challenge on camera.
Yeah.
So being scared on camera is, I can imagine, quite a daunting thing.
It's exhausting, right? It takes a lot out
Yeah.
of you. Right. If you
Mhm.
think if you think about when you're scared, what's happening to your body, do you know what I mean? Like all of the adrenaline that's rushing, the way your heart is, your breathing is affected, and certain muscles are tightening and stuff like that, right? Okay, now do that again and again and again over a prolonged period of time, right? It is knackering. Okay, you're tired, really, really tired. So those moments of like decompression are very important. And what was cool about Baghead was, we shot on location, some of it, and we also shot in the studio, but the weather was really particularly lovely. Um, it were nice and crisp. It wasn't too cold, but it wasn't really hot either. It's the weather I just like. It was like autumn. and the sun was shining, and the leaves and everything, and so it's really nice going into this like horror film sort of set, and these emotions to going out and just being able to breathe, right? And I think that's what kept us all sane.
So I've said this to Freya as well. I saw some of the social media stuff of you guys kind of, as you say, decompressing and having fun on set. Particularly, I can imagine when you're dealing with, it could be for any film, I guess, but horror, drama, and all that kind of stuff, and the emotions that you're going through. It must be good to not only be able to do that, but do that with people that you become friends with, and you get to have a laugh and have those things. Particularly with an independent film, kind of like this, where you're doing it quite fast and you're having to do a lot every day. You must have been so happy to work with some people that now become friends, and you got to have a good time as well.
Yeah, so happy, so happy. And you never know what to expect either when you go into a job.
Mm.
Obviously you've got like the best case scenario. I feel really lucky as well because it literally was the best case scenario. Like we all hit it off. We all had a really nice time. We're really well taken care of, and we were in Berlin, and there was so much to do, and there's so much history there, and things to explore, and places to go out and eat, and markets, and stuff to walk around. Honestly, it was really great. The whole experience of making it, the job itself, the film itself, and where we were. Super lucky. And it was after sort of COVID as well. So everybody had been, locked down and this, that, and the rest. And so it were like my soul needed this, and everybody else's. So yeah, I had a great time.
How soon into the process did you get to meet Baghead? Because it's quite a visually arresting, thing that you get to see, image, with the bag head and then the person and it's moving, all that kind of stuff. How soon into the process did you get to see it? And with Alberto, how did he kind of tell you how he wanted it to move and how he wanted you to react to it? Because it is quite a presence when it comes into the room.
Yeah. Alberto is a lovely man. He's a lovely guy. I consider him my friend. We've met up with each other during the ADR and stuff, and he's read bits of my work and stuff like that. Gone for lunch with each other. Do you know what I mean? After the job, he's a really nice guy. He's a very gentle man, gentle character. Which is really nice. There's nothing like hard about Alberto. He's very gentle. And so's his direction, right? And he's really passionate about what he does and about horror and film and stuff like that. He's just a really nice person to work with. And the Baghead itself were terrifying. Right? They were terrifying. But then it is funny as well because, like, obviously it's not just on set that we would like in the scenes we'd interact with her, so we'd see her just like walking out of the toilet or whatever, I mean, it is kind of funny. Like, it is funny as well, horror films, real life,
Yeah.
when they're just like walking around in these terrifying costumes and having a cup of tea. But yeah. What was the question?
Hey, you've answered it. It's all good. My final question is this: would you prefer to be scared by Baghead and have all that stuff going on, or would you prefer to be in Bridgerton where it's a bit safe, or neither?
I'm gonna say scared with Baghead.
Well, those corsets and dresses and stuff. You could take Baghead over all of that.
Yeah, I mean they look great. You look really nice and stuff, but I wasn't wearing a corset, but it would have been a different situation, doing that in a corset, right?
Just hang out with Baghead and do some TikTok videos or something instead.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the film, so it's a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks so much for your time, and yeah, hope it goes well for you.
Wicked. Have a nice day.
You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys!
Hey, you guys!